if at all yet so far. But there's Shyvana being picked up first off. Strong top lane champion right now. But Renekton available, Jack's available. What else could they go with at the top lane? Will they be thinking of that, or will we be seeing the Fresh Prince?
You know what? I kind of hope so for Edward's sake. I mean, he's the Thresh King. That was what he was coined when he was here in the summer split, and then he just left us. And our hearts were broken from that. But I want to see him come back with that. I know Darren's been playing a lot of Lissandra top lane, so that might be a possibility. But, you know, I was chatting with Krepo earlier, and he was saying no one really counters Shyvana top lane right now. So you have to kind of maybe 2v1 her if you want to have hopes of keeping her down right now. But the Vi pickup, if that does come in, I mean, we've seen Darren play it before. We saw her heavily played at Worlds, so why not go for a champion like that who can be very aggressive early on? It could really be a nuisance to deal with that ultimate coming into a team fight. Yeah,
it's a champion that Bengi ran in the OGN Summer Champions, actually, when they came back against KT Bullets. And I believe he's returned it. I think I'm pretty sure he played it the other day as well. Memory is a little bit foggy on that one because I've watching so much OGN lately that I'm like, I don't know what the picks, who's picking what these days. Just trying to get a taste of the trend. And speaking of trends, Annie as support. That is the trend. This time we're seeing Eddie on Annie.
That's going to be so much fun to talk about. But I mean, that's a champion that's up his alley if we think about it. I mean, he is known for kill stealing. Not that way though, Demon. He's known for kill stealing quite a bit. And Annie with the long attack range, with the burst you can put down, like that is a champion that works perfectly for him. And it looks like he doesn't want to go for Thresh here. So maybe we'll see Caitlyn for that patented Caitlyn-Annie combo. Maybe we'll see Varus because Genja's been playing a lot of Varus. Actually, he played it 13 games in the summer split, only won 7 of them with the 5.1 KDA.
Oh, Jinx hovered over right now. We haven't actually seen Jinx today. Been a very strong champion on release, I'll give you that, but people seem to have figured out a counter for him. But alongside Zyra, that's a pretty scary, damaging combo. If you get locked down, you are pretty screwed.
Yeah, Candy Panda didn't do too well with it earlier on against Copenhagen Wolves. Oh, well, we know he wants to play there, obviously. But, you know, Jinx, yeah, definitely a strong champion. That ultimate is, from what I hear from Joe, so amazing to say during team fights. The super mega death rocket.
Super mega death rockets.
But she's a very strong champion, even with the slight changes to her, reducing that attack speed from her Q. But this Zyra, I'm always a fan of seeing Zyra. As we saw a little bit earlier on, Cowtard playing her as an AP mid. We've seen her as support previously as well. So it's one of those champions you can lock in very early on and be like, we're not going to show our hand completely just yet. And maybe, you know, they want to go Zyra versus Orianna, or maybe they're just using it to obviously go support.
Well, there is the Renekton. It was the champion that was pretty much predominant throughout the World Finals. Really strong top laner, and Darian, well, he used to be a champion and he played well, and he's gonna know what he's up against in Shyvana. See how that one works out. Will they go for the 2v1 later? Don't think we're gonna see Draven, pretty sure about that. Nixar hovering over it right now. We're waiting to see who the mid laner will be. Could be Zyra. We have had someone mid laning, Cowtard mid laning Zyra early on in the previous match where Copenhagen Wolves, if you missed it, took down SK Gaming 2-0. They're going to be facing Ninjas in Pajamas tomorrow morning. That'll be the amateur finals for that one. Right now, though, it is going to be the final picks. What do you think? I mean,
I was about to say, we could see double AD
Jarvan's a likely jungler.
So I swear we've seen Mid-Quinn once. I can't remember who it was. I know Spontex played her.
Actually going to get locked in. We did see Spontex playing it, and we have seen it Mid-Quinn.
With Gambit, actually, funny enough, in the top lane.
I believe Messiah's played it a bunch of times as well. But then again, he plays anything. He's played Scion loads in the mid lane as well. And we saw how that went this morning. If you missed it, well, you missed a mid lane Scion from Noobdub, which some of the team wasn't too happy about.
Yeah, we'll save that story for another time. But, you know, I actually kind of like the Quinn. I mean, it's one of those champions that can be a really big bully in the lane. You can split push decently well. It's kind of hard to gank her just because you have the ability to tumble backwards and you have that sight from her hawk to see around you. But what's really funny within the red lineup is the fact that Nixar used to play middle, for instance, of Surrender. Famco used to play jungle, and then Demonco's always been in as a support role. So I'm curious, over this period of time, you know, since February, have they been able to work any twerks out? Have they been able to, you know, come into their own in these roles? And no, not twerking. Baron's not twerking in this game. It's not going to happen.
Twerks out?
Kinks out.
Maybe they did. Maybe that's. I don't know what these Russians get up to sometimes. Maybe that's what they've been doing to figure out. But there is the Red. If you're not sure really who the Red is, the Red's actually a pretty big gaming organization in Russia. So it's actually a pretty big powerhouse team. Hell, he's got a bear tattooed on his arm. Don't mess with that guy.
Was that a Stormtrooper bear?
I don't know what it was. The camera may pan down to it, but it was definitely a bear in there, that's for sure. So, there is Diamond Prox on your screen, alongside Darian, who's always got the swagger as he comes into the studio. I mean, you guys saw his intro at the Worlds, but you should see him as he swaggers around the studio, man. He's he's a cool dude right there. But this team, that I mean, they're gonna know this. It's unfortunate a little bit, I guess, for the Red, because they're coming up against their comrades, as it were. They're coming up against Gambit, who these guys probably look up to. I mean, Gambit had been on the scene for so long, since the Intel Extreme Masters Kiev back in 2011, I believe it was, when they really burst onto the scene with the Empire, which they were formerly known as, that great combo. But what do we think? What do we see here? Because this is Red, I think, from my point of view, trying something funky. They know they're not going to beat Gambit in a straight-up standard fight, so they've gone with some interesting picks. They've pulled out the Jinx. They've pulled out the Quinn in the middle. Is it going to work out, though?
You know, the thing about double AD compositions is that you need to feed a lot of farm over to those two champions, and to get to that point a little bit later on is very difficult to do. But one thing I like about Red is that they do have a lot of protection for their AD carries. So you have the Cataclysm to hold there, obviously. You have the Stranglethorns out of Zyra, not to mention the Grasping Roots. You have obviously Shyvana, who can knock them back on top of that. So they can have a lot of damage, but the problem is they don't have magic damage. And we saw a game earlier on today where we just built straight armor against that, and there's not much you can really do here. So we are seeing Darren. See, this is what scares me, is that if Darren is going 1v1 against Shyvana, that means he's confident in this matchup, and that's a very scary thing if you're playing against him.
I'm just scared about Edward on Annie as well. I'm scared for everyone on the Red right now, because Gambit, they have been back together as a team, effectively, for the last 2 weeks, although I know from Edward, he's been playing on my Battlefield 4 server, so he's, I don't know how much he's been practicing. He's not a very good sniper.
Was he kill stealing you, though?
No, he's a sniper. He's like you. He likes to sit on the roof somewhere and tries to camp it, but he's not very good at it. That's
so
sure.
Definitely like me. Exactly like me.
Exactly like you.
But you know, one thing that's funny with Gambit is that actually Edward got interviewed lately. I don't remember off the top of my head who it was, but he said the problems that existed before within Gambit, which caused him to leave, are no longer there. And that means potentially the return of the team we saw, a little over a year ago, when they were just so dominating. And I want to know, can they do this? But on Red's side, think back to Meet Your Makers coming into the summer split. They had a phenomenal week one, going 4-1. They caught teams off guard because they had the opportunity to research them. The Red might have that same opportunity right now, and hopefully for them, they take advantage of it.
Well, and it's more than research. It's hunger. It's hunger to win. And has Gambit still got that hunger? It's a team that's been around, been victorious, been very close to winning World Championships in Season 2. They managed to go 2-1 with Taipei Assassins. So is it a team that's still got that hunger? Now they're back together as the original lineup. The original gang is back. Are they as hungry as ever? Bearing in mind, this is the Intel Extreme Masters. Haven't actually seen Groove here either, so maybe the manager has not traveled with them. Maybe I've just not seen him, but no, he's not with them. I saw them in the stairs and I didn't see them, so they are here without the manager as well. So gonna see how this one progresses for them. But they are up against the Red. The Red themselves have a mountain to climb, I feel, playing up against Gambit. And this is great zoning already.
Yeah, look how scared they are to go up head-to-head against him as AD carry and support. And obviously, with Edward having the anti-stun up, with that constant harass that he's been doing right now, it's really applying a lot of pressure. Not to mention, he's sitting on 30 AP.
This is an all-in fight. Wish is going to go for it. That's the question. It's going to be Darian trying to flash in for it. Fire having to flash straight away. That was an all-in fight from both of them. All summoner spells used from both players, chugging through those potions. And so far, it seems that Darian may well be coming out on top.
Yeah, he's making a stamp on this lane. He wants to show that I will control this. You're not going to be able to really snowball on us right now, as we saw Shyvana just do so well earlier on today. And we even see Famke a very early gank right now, but he's going to be spotted by a ward. And this is very dangerous because it's not going to happen most likely with Darian. Already seen him back away. And now he misses out on a little bit of CS here. But still, I like the presence though. I like the decision for him to kind of interact with other lanes so early on.
Well, he shoved his wave up straight to the tower, so I don't think he lost too much experience. He maybe would have lost 1 or 2 minions, but yeah, like you said, that ward. Interesting to see that ward in the first place. I didn't see whether it was Darian that placed it or whether it was Edward that roamed around there early on that had put that ward down, because as we know from Darian, he gets caught out a few times.
Yeah, once or twice.
That's a little bit too far up lane, but this top lane, or bottom lane, whatever you'd like to call it, is already going heavily in favor of Genja. Genja's got double the CS almost of Nixar. Nixar's going to have his work cut out to keep this one going, because Eddie's doing a great job at zoning out, but also we're now seeing Genja splitting off to the side. Look at Diamond with the double buff, sniffing around, see if he can pick anything up, but it's not going to happen, and he's going to return back to his jungle.
And one thing about that top lane that's making it so dangerous for the Red to go up against him is the fact that Edward's running 30 AP. So if he's going to hit you with his 8% magic pen, it's definitely going to hurt. And that's what's causing him to kind of sit back, just try to farm up, not give away any kills just yet. But Diamond, he's spotted going down here, and looks like he wants to tax lane a little bit, shoveling as fast as possible. And Faris, he's actually not going to back away. He's going to stay here. He needs this experience, or he's going to fall really far behind.
Oh, Alex is going all in on towards Fomko. Fomko, they've reversed positions right now. Has he got the damage to turn his back around? Alex is taken very low, pulls out the defensive ball, has to flash away from it. Fomko's going to flash through. Oh, manages to get it up, but the ball is back, and Alex picks up first blood.
I think we can say, without a doubt, Alex has been practicing over this vacation right now. That was ridiculous, but I've been flashing a little bit early just to get that vision away from Fomko, so he didn't know exactly going to happen here, but Genja going to get caught.
Genja caught out, having to dodge away from the choppers, flashes through again, throws out the barrier, and the hail of arrows, and taken very, very low. We already saw that Edward wasn't in the lane, so this is good pressure from Red.
Yeah, and a little bit surprising considering how passive they've been playing this entire time, but right now, as you can see on that minimap, we have Diamond Prox heading up towards this top side. He will not be spotted by a ward right now, and potentially with that red buff, he could go for a 1v2.
They're both very low as well. I'm wondering whether he's going to go for it. Eddie's coming in. We know how aggressive he can be, but instead he's not going to go rushing straight into the lane. He will just pass on by. And also Diamond, if you noticed, he took full lane text in that bottom there. That's what I want to talk about before the action kicked off. He wiped out all the minions and the big minion. He picked up about 120 gold from that lane away from Darian.
And I honestly, I like that, because that's what it's come to in Season 3, is that the junglers have to tax. They need the money, they need the experience to really stay with the game, and obviously when Diamond Proxy gets level 6 on this Vi, he becomes so deadly that even Fomko, I'm pretty sure, can't escape from that without a flash. And you pair the, the ball delivery system on with that with Orianna, and you're probably going to be able to kill someone very easily.
It's a game of Doran's Blades right now. We're seeing triple Doran's coming out from Nixar on Jinx. We're seeing Fomko with two Doran's Blades in that mid lane. Another Doran's Blade, this time on Shyvana, and one on Dimashka, I think we decided it was going to be, wasn't it?
I like how Nixar's going triple Doran's Blade, because I'm just like, I know that build. I started that build. Yeah. I'm the one that started doing that. And it kind of shows he doesn't want to be bursted down by Edward, which is a very smart move. He wants to be able to sit in lane. He's pretty even on CS considering how this game has gone. But look what happened. We have lane swaps coming in. And because it's seeing the 80 carry and support top lane, Gambit can take advantage just by taking Dragon.
Darian may well get locked down there. He gets rooted up. He's already popped his ulti though. He should just be able to dominate and slide away from this one while Gambit pick up the Dragon down in the bottom of the lane. It's going to get interrupted possibly. Fomko's going to come in. We'll see whether he can finish it off. Diamond does manage to close it out alongside Alex Ich and Co, and they will just back away from this one. So a somewhat safe Dragon pickup by Gambit in the 7-minute mark.
And this is the Gambit style. I mean, we always talk about you give them a finger, they'll take your whole arm. They got those lane swaps to happen. They realized that, hey, Nixar and Demoncore top lane, why not go for Dragon right now? We can send Darian up there. He can survive very easily, get a free Dragon, get some extra gold off of it. And right now, they're already looking at 2k gold lead.
That's going to be a tempting target for Faris there. He's looking at him. He's got his ultis. He's fully stacked up there. He's wondering whether to go for it. Blue buff given across to Alex Ich. Darian chugging through those potions. He has got a giant spell, so it's somewhat misleading thinking he's low on hit points, because you can see he's at 1,000 hit points despite it being that low. So not going to take the bait, but Fomko may well join him. Pops his vision, checks out the red buff, and there is going to be a 2-man stack in his top wave. But look at Diamond. Diamond already heading this way. Is he going to get there in time? I don't think he's going to! And it's going to be Fomko and Faris clearing out. That's going to be Faris taking very, very low, but it's a kill nonetheless.
And great timing too, because they realize, hey, Darren doesn't have his ultimate. He just used it in that defense in that 1v2 top lane. So right now, they take complete advantage of that. They get the kill. They're going to get the turret very low. In the meantime, we're seeing them hold down middle. Alex going to the ultimate here.
Yeah, well, actually, I think it was Dimashka that's gone aggressive on him. And Alex is just like, fine, you want to fight me? I'll take a fight, no problem. You've seen my balls. They're going to be delivered all across the map. Alex Itch, that is not how I meant it. I can see the smirk on your face and everybody in Twitch chat as well.
I knew exactly what you meant, Demon. I was on your side with that one. But yeah, balls everywhere right there. And right now, we're seeing Diamond hold on to, you can compose yourself, hold on to this top lane here, and he's going to get some little bit more tax here, as we do see Darren finally go for his Sunfire Cape. But in the meantime, Nixar and Demonco pushing bottom. They're up in this 2v2 lane yet again here. They want to keep the 2v2, as we already saw Gambit throw the switch up here, even though they were so hesitant to fight him earlier on.
So, lanes back into normality, or somewhat an image of it. Catalyst of the Protector and the Tear of the Goddess are already picked up by Alex Ich. He is in pretty much a perfect position, as we said straight away. Already a 10 CS advantage, got 2 kills, looking comfortable. Eddie throwing down the stuns in the bottom there, having to protect Genja. And you can see Nixar starting to go a bit more aggressive on Jinx.
And this is what I want to see out of Gambit. This is what I'm curious about, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are looking for. Even though Edward said the things that, you know, made him leave earlier on. Oh, wow, you see kill bottom lane. You see Edward go down. Yeah,
Edward's gone down in the bottom. He did stick around a little bit too long, got the grasping roots out there, but looks of it. Darian, meanwhile, trading with Fire East at the top there. We do see Diamond hanging around, see if they can bait something, but at the top here, it's going to be continuing back and forward. Dominus pops. I don't think Darian's going to chase him onto the turret, so they will back away, but he is buying time for Dimashka to come around. Will he slide on in there? He's got the combo ready and waiting to try and get him. That's the bait they needed. They get the lockup, they get the stun. He's going to slice and dice away. We can see the ultimate coming out. The flash is away from him. Is he going to go deep on the tower? He's going to have one more shot on this one. He is going to try and land the damage, but could he get baited in? The stun comes out. The tower hit will not be enough, and that's another good pickup by the Red.
And even though that happened, I really have to say that I was really surprised with Darian right there. We've known him as being a person that overextends. You know, he gets caught, he dies quite a bit. But right there, I mean, he was able to bait the jungle to the top side, able to almost escape right there, and really allow time for the rest of his team to make something happen in other lanes. And I was trying to point this out earlier, is that, you know, we had Edward say, the problems that were in the team before are no longer there. But do you always remember them being out of sync in lane, where, you know, Edward would be really aggressive, Genji would be back farming, and then, you know, if Genji was aggressive, Edward was always passive kind of thing? I want to know if they've been able to synchronize that, and if they have, I'm really scared for any bot lane combo that goes against them.
Yeah, I mean, they always were, and that was the main complaint. And we've seen, you know, whether he goes too aggressive, Genji generally sits back and passive farms, and as it is, not seeing too much to suggest that that's changed.
Yeah, it's been, I'm just saying, really quiet in their lane so far. I mean, Edward put out some great presence earlier on, but we've only seen, obviously, one kill, which went in the favor of the Red. And I don't know. I mean, you're an Annie. He's level 5, so he doesn't have his bear stun just yet with that extra damage. Things will change around in a little bit here, but keep in mind, Gambit did have the first dragon. We'll have it coming up in just over 2 minutes here, and if they want to go for it yet again with that available, it's going to be very hard for the Red to contest it.
So far, it is 3-2 in favor of Red. They are behind in gold, though, because, like you said, that dragon did get taken down. Assault battery on towards Fonko. He's only just got back into the game, and he's already dead. Diamond Prox was there, and Alex Ich picked up the kill. No, I tell a lie, it was Diamond. I'm completely out of sync, as are the players, it seems, because they've gone for another pause. As the top lane tower was about to go down, Eddie is just going to reconnect, so they're just sorting that one out. There goes Edward. He'll be back in a moment, guys. Don't worry.
And that last fight, though, that was really great timing out of Alex. I mean, obviously it was a gank coming in. It's pretty hard to miss that ultimate, but he used it right when we had Famco vaulting away on Quinn, trying to escape that. It pulled him right back in. Another easy kill, and that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier on. And it's also interesting is that Alex Ich, look at his build.
Yeah, but speaking of builds, let's have a look at the builds, because you can see them on your screen, so you'll have to take the viewers through it, because they don't have vision just yet.
All right, well, the one thing that kind of is interesting for me is Alex, he went for a Catalyst, went for a Tear, and 2 Doran's Rings. So he's going for like a Rod of Ages, I would expect with that. Maybe a Banshee's Veil later on if he wants to, even though there's no magic resist. Maybe just dodge a Grasping Roots or something. And he's going for, you know, a lot of mana with the Tear on top of that. So he's going to be lacking a little bit of damage, but the rest of the team makes up for it. But just with what they have, with that Annie, you just, I mean, even though your support, you still do quite a bit later on. You have Genja, who's happily farming away, has a 21 CS lead over Nixar. And not to mention Darian, just with the Dominus up, with his Sunfire Cape, he hurts a lot.
So, first turret of the game goes down, and it's the Red that take it. Not something I was expecting to say, and they are starting to put up an interesting performance here. Has Gambit been caught napping, or are they just a little rusty? And they just need to get their stride going. Who knows? This is a team, as I mentioned many, many times, that are very successful at the Intel Extreme Masters, and it is something they are very proud of as well. They like to pick up victories here at the Intel Extreme Masters, and why the hell not? Their name's on the trophy 1 year. That was 2011. Unfortunately, the Koreans stopped their dominance in 2012, despite them getting to the quarterfinals, or was it semi-finals? I can not remember back at CBIT 2012. But nevertheless, it was the 2 Azubu teams that stopped their progress.
And right now, Gambit, I don't know, I'm not 100% convinced just yet of their playstyle. I mean, obviously, it's, you know, the first game in a while, at least in a tournament setting. The game is not really in favor of currently the Reds, since they still have that gold advantage, but they haven't been on par, as fluid as we've normally seen them be going around. And as you can see, Diamond, he's a minute early to this dragon, and that kind of shows maybe there's a little bit rust within the team. Or maybe he's just trying to see if there's any enemy wards on that, if anyone's going to come by and, you know, show their presence.
He hasn't got a Oracle, has he?
No.
No, he hasn't. Just checking out whether anyone's going to spot towards him. But yeah, the time, like you say, the timing, he is a good minute early there. He's going to clear out those wraiths. He's going to find actually in the jungle. They may go head to head. You can see Dimashka taking him behind him, but instead he's going to back away. Had the support of Alex Ich, whose ulti will be back up in just a few moments. I'm interested to see this Shyvana pick because it was taken away as the first pick, and it is 2-0 up. This could become a problem late game for Gambit because late game, Red's team's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, the double AD carries, if they can get them both farmed up to that point where they'll be strong to deal with the enemy team, then it's going to be very hard to dive anyone on Gambit's or on the Red side. And then you have, 2-0 Shauna, you just pointed out. Faris, he is going to be tanky with that Sunfire Cape, with the Dragon Form. He's going to be able to dive into the backside, go against the squishy of Genja, take the stun away from Edward if Edward wants to focus him down with it, and really apply a lot of pressure, really be a big nuisance in the middle of these fights. But it all comes down to, can they get to that point where their team fights matter for them, or are they going to let Gambit, kind of get back in the game and kind of take it away from them?
Well, triple Doran's Blade was picked up by Nixar, but we're seeing only the double from Genja as he's gone for that BF sword. Rod of Ages also completed by Alex Ich. Sunfire Cape's going for both of those top laners. There's going to be the blue buff going across to Alex Diamond, gifting him that one. In terms of CS, it's a huge advantage for Alex Ich. You can see 40 CS difference. Both the other lanes really are fairly even. The top lane, you can see actually between them, it is Darian with the lead, despite the fact he's 2-0 down, which is why that gold differential, about 400 gold. Not too bad right now because Gambit themselves have picked up that dragon, which has respawned, and nobody really from either team making any moves towards it.
Yeah, not just yet. And right now, Alex, he might get caught here. That word was spotted. We are seeing them go in for it.
He is going to jump in. Cataclysm was used, but he flashes out of it. But that doesn't mean Alex's flash is down. Didn't try and go for the shockwave. Don't defend it. Realize he's in a 2v1 situation. No way of winning that fight.
There's two forms of Alex, which is a little bit weird to say. There's one where he's very mobile, roams around, picks up kills around the map for like a Kha'Zix or a Gragas. And there's a second one where he farms really well, which currently he's doing, like you mentioned a little bit earlier on. And in the summer split alone, he had the third highest GPM out of every single player at 373. And right now with Dragon coming back up, it looks like they want to go for it here. They have the pink wards invested. They have the manpower down here. But right now, Darian's in the top lane, while Fareez is already heading towards Dragon.
Yeah, Darian is miles away, not going to be involved in this fight. And it does mean it's going to be a 4-on-5. Red are gathering all in one position. Chain of Corruption catching on towards Dimashka, though. That is going to be him down. Now can they catch on towards the next one? You can see Alex is in trouble, but he pulls out the shockwave, gets that defensive ball back on. It's a double kill for Edward. Would you believe it? The man is back, and he's killing again.
That was such a great job by Gambit right there. They committed so many ultimates into that fight just to kill Demonko, using the Vi and the Annie bear stun right there. But it didn't matter. In the end, Alex was tanking up with that bear, with that build he's going to survive it. They pick up 3 kills, they pick up Dragon, and right now, the Red just gave him a finger.
The Red just gave him a finger, and they are pulling the entire arm. It's not the middle one, thankfully, though, and the Red are just keeping them back. We're dropping them left and right today, Jason. It's my turn again now. So that was the Dragon, that was a bunch of kills, and Gambit suddenly stretch their legs in this match. Red buff going across towards Diamond, and Darian goes back to the top to continue his merry farm.
And this is the danger. If you're running a composition like the Red, you cannot afford to fall behind with this double AD carries. You look at Gambit's side, Alex, he picked up the Seeker's Arm Guard, so he's going for the armor. We already see Darian invested into the Sunfire Cape. We're going to see Diamond building towards a little bit of armor and a couple of minutes here. And the Red, they don't have the penetration they need early on to deal with that.
Well, Bloodthirster has just been picked up by Genja, but right now the trade back and forward in this top lane continues. Both got some fire capes, so both just going to be burning away on one another. Darian has got his ultimate available. He's going to pop the Dominus. Goes back in there. He's waiting for Fareez to actually pop his ultimate. Hasn't quite got it ready. He just could have gone in for it, but we saw just got a glimpse of Dimashka there, I think, or maybe he's just spider senses were tingling, realizing if he's going all in for this one, there must be someone else nearby. And wisely, Darian, for once, backs away.
Ooh, look at that damage out of Genja, and that's a typical build he always goes with. He has that 17 fire armor pen. And most likely go with last whisper after this since he never builds attack speed. But Diamond, he's going to be coming in here for gank. He was not spotted by a ward in that tri-bush, and he's going to be going in.
Assault and battery on towards Demonko, gets him straight on. The Chomper's coming down. Nixar caught with the Chain of Corruption. Tibbers goes down on his head, and just like that, the piercing arrow takes off his head.
That stun, the CC they just applied right there. I mean, even Diamondprox didn't hit the target they were going to go for the kill on a Nikasar, but the bear stun with the Chain of Corruption out of Genja, which is enough to hold him there long enough to pick up that very, very easy kill.
Last I checked, Nikasar hadn't left Riot to join become a pro gamer for the red, but Nikasar is there indeed. It is going to be the bottom turret going down. Gambit going to be picking that one up. Meanwhile, you can see Diamond just off the side, taking down those golems as well, trying to get interrupted by Dimonko. But instead, they're going to let the minions take it. They've caught out Fomko. Fomko's come around. He's tried to go a little too aggressive. Caught out with a stun. Is it going to be enough? Fomko goes down. Stranglethorns will bounce up Diamondprox. Now they're going to go towards Demaskra. Demaskra and Dimonko in trouble. Diamondprox is going to take down Dimonko. Flashes away. Flash followed by Faris. Faris should be able to take down Diamondprox at the side. Can they close any more out? That's the question. Eddie has got a stun available. He should be able to stop it off the side. Genja, for some reason, he's decided to go one-on-one down the bottom here. He may turn it around. Hail of Arrows caps him down. Dimonko picks up the kill along with Faris. That's double for the red, and they try and pick up something from it. But while it's all happening, top tower going down, and Alex has driven through the mid lane, taken down the turret and pushing on towards the inner.
And look how many men they had to commit for that fight, just for a 2-for-2, and now they're losing 2 turrets on top of that. I mean, they needed all 5 members there to really hold on to that, as we saw Nikasar down a little bit earlier on, so they needed 4, but even with that, they struggled to really get those kills, and Gambit in the meantime just completely taking advantage of it. Even Alex just waiting on the sides to maybe go for a blue here, and now Faris, he might be in trouble, as we do have a 2-man Gambit squad up here.
Here they go, it's going to be Alex Hitch coming around. He's already 3-0-3, his shockwave is available, but he's not going to pull the trigger on it. Now he could, no, pulls instead back towards Darian, and well, we see Faris defending that one. They didn't really have vision, which is why they're backing away, but so far Gambit are looking good.
Oh my god, Demon, I almost had a heart attack. Genja is building attack speed. I think this is like the second time in his entire career of League of Legends for him to build some attack speed of any sort. So he's not going for that Last Whisper, he's going for that Zeal. What happened to Genja? This isn't the Genja we typically know.
Well, they said the changes have happened. Maybe this is what we're starting to begin to see. Is this the new Genja? Is there going to be a new aggressive Genja? I wonder. He did try and go in a straight-up duel, despite the fact he realized he may be in trouble. Diamondprox once again waiting in the wings, going to try and come around, see if he can get on towards anything. And the red have got to be careful, because Diamondprox at 2-0-5 is looking for kills.
And when he gets rolling, I mean, just on a Vi alone, he is so deadly. I mean, Darren, he's 0-2, but no offense to him, that's kind of what we expect out of his lane, since he constantly is aggressive, he constantly makes the other jungler to go to his lane. But having a 2-0 Vi, having a 3-0-3 Orianna, a 1-1-5 Genja with pretty good farm, like, this is a lot of damage that will come out very quickly for Red, and right now they don't have the defenses to deal with it, especially with 2 squishy AD carries and a squishy support.
Assault and Battery is available should Diamond go for it. There is a 3-0 Shyvana. We should not discredit Faris. He's doing a fantastic job in that top lane, but it is Gambit. I'm feeling so confident that they're just going to bully out this tower. We see, Flash Tippers going down towards Fomko. Fomko does have to flash away from that one. Chain of Corruption followed it through, but that's another tower picked up by Gambit.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe a little bit of miscommunication right there as Eddie did go in, but right now with all 5 members still here, Gambit, they want to go for this turret, and with Fomko already low on life, he's going to have to back out and heal, which gives him a man advantage. But still, Dragon coming up in about 45 seconds, they can fall back, bait the red into a fight that they don't necessarily want to go for with the pink wards they currently have down, or they can just take Dragon, get a little bit of extra money, go back and spend it, because currently they have 1,000 on Genja, so he'll be able to finish off whatever item he wants to soon, and then just work from there.
Now Gambit happy to just step away from this. The Chompers just catching out Alex Hitch there. Thought he could just catch them out there, but they happily traded the bottom turret, outer turret, for the middle inner turret, and now Diamond maybe cut out of position. Dragon's up in 18 seconds, so this is what Gambit are lingering for. They thought they could go back in time, but instead they are going to have to hold on and possibly just pick it up the moment it spawns.
And, during the picks and bans, we were a little bit, confused, a little bit worried about that Quinn pick, and as you can tell so far, it's not working out. 0-4-1 right now, 162 farm. He's down quite a bit to his counter. But right now, you saw the damage he did to Diamond, or more importantly, you didn't see the damage because he didn't do much of it. And when you have Nikasar, who is okay on farm, but doesn't necessarily have the penetration he needs to deal with it, that means Diamond and Darren can just dive into the back line, sit there all day, set up a camp, have a s'more or something like that, and then that allows the rest of Gambit to fight.
Well, here is the Dragon. Here comes Gambit. Oh, the piercing arrow landing on Dimonko already. Darian's going to chew that one up. He wants a juicy support kill. And meanwhile, down the side here, they're going to chase on towards it. Shockwave comes out, doesn't really catch anyone. Faris is the problem. That's going to be the support. Dimonko going down. Going to catch on Assault Battery on towards Fomko. Fomko gets decimated. Faris is going to follow. That's a third going down. They're going to get Chain of Corruption. Max range on Nixar. Nixar's going to go down. The damage just turned out from Darian there as they chase for the ace on towards Dimash as he slides away to forget the Dragon. They're going for the inhib.
And right there was a perfect example of just how far ahead Gambit was. Darian went in 1v2 even against that Dragon, was able to pick up a kill on Dimonko, while the rest of the team, even with Alex ulting just one man on a Faris, they were able to pick them apart one by one with superior focus. And now, like you said, they're going to get an inhibitor off of this.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. And what started off as a fairly close match has just been once again just ripped straight from the red. We talked about earlier on, we've talked about it during the amateur matches, how teams do not close games quick enough. Gambit are doing just that. 10,000 gold lead, 22 minutes in, first inhibitor down.
And this is a very scary point for the red, because within the summer split alone, it was like a 93% chance you're going to lose a game once you lose a first inhibitor, and against Gambit, those numbers only got worse for your side, and we've seen Gambit being able to close out games so quick with an inhibitor down. I want to expect a Baron coming up, but honestly, they don't need it. They don't need to go for something like that where it potentially could be stolen away and get the other team back.
Oh, the Shockwave decimating them there. Piercing arrow follows through just like that. It's another 3 kills. The red thought they'd caught Gambit napping. They thought they'd caught them back in, but they didn't realize Genja had just been back to shop, and he joins the fray and absolutely decimates them.
Wow, that damage out of Alex paired in with Edward. The pull together with the Tibbers is so hard to deal with, as we just saw right there. In Gambit, they might go for finish. Why not?
Why not, indeed? You know, we've talked about how quick these games can finish once the inhib goes down back in the LCS. But right now, the Nexus turrets are dropping. Diamond Proxy's diving on towards the turret. He takes one Nexus turret down, and if Faris comes out, there's a lot of damage actually coming out here. Gambit forced to retreat. Genja throws out Chain of Corruption, does manage to land it. He could turn it back around on towards Fariso. You sure as hell damn wish he could, but instead he's caught out by the Stranglethorns and will get knocked down. This could be an ace possibly on towards Gambit. Dimashka, can he chase on through? Flash is on there. Alex Hitch catching. No, the Dragon Strike's not going to be enough, but Fomko will with his ulti take down Alex Hitch. That is the ace for the red.
And just like that, Gambit might have lost Baron. Red might have gotten a huge advantage back into this game if they're able to take it down quickly. With these 280 carries, they have the potential to do it. But Diamond, he's up in 1 second. He's going to be there very shortly with his Vi. And with that ultimate up, when he gets there, he can cause quite a bit of pressure on the red side. But if they can take this quick enough, like, they might actually have a chance here.
Well, they've got a double AD composition, so they've got a lot of damage going down on that Baron. You can see Diamond already heading there. He's got Smite available, no Assault Battery, but he can just charge across that bush. You see he's already charging it up there. Throws down one ward, gets the vision, realizes he's got to go. If he's going to go now, it's not going to happen. That's the Baron for the red, ladies and gentlemen.
Just fantastic play out of them. I mean, we were really kind of curious to see how they're going to get back into this game, and that was their move right there. Even after they lost those 3 men in middle, as they thought they caught Gambit off guard, they end up returning with all 5 members, able to pick that one up and picking up Baron on top of that. But right now, it was more of an opportunistic Baron. They can't really push with it. They need to defend. They need to get their inhibitor up. If anything, they need to shove this middle lane. But if Gambit go for an engage with this Violeton up, if they go in all together, then the red is just going to explode like we just saw prior.
Well, they've shown fast-paced decision-making. They've proven that, you know, once they realized the situation, they went straight for that Baron. So it's clear that this team deserved to have qualified through. They were the top-placed Russian team, which is why they are here representing their region. But
they didn't even just qualify. They stomped everyone in the qualifications to get here. It wasn't even close any of the games. And we're looking at probably like the #2 team, maybe besides Gaming Gear U, which I don't believe I even played in it, in Russia.
Yeah, it was a dominating performance, and Gambit, I'm pretty sure, knew what they were up against here, but they were feeling confident coming into this one. They are Gambit after all, and, you know, they are a very confident team. Mid lane's going to push itself. Super Minions doing the work there, so Gambit just timing it out, waiting for those Super Minions to chug on through, and then I think they're going to potentially dive on in there, trying to get some piercing arrow poke, and maybe just get a couple of shots off. Flash Tibbers is up.
Exactly. That's all it takes. And we see Edward over towards
look how
the
close they all
backside.
are. This is a Shockwave
yes.
Tibbers all in one assault and battery ball delivery system. This could all go wrong. Look at Diamond, he's already getting position. Super Minions now shoving through the mid lane. They're gonna have to deal with these. They've only got one Nexus turret. They cannot defend Super Minions.
If they're not gonna fight, well, here they go.
Stranglethorns goes down. There's a Shockwave. Everybody all in a bundle, pile on, whatever you'd like to call it. It is all happening right now, and it is the red that are dropping like flies. Nixa, Fomko, Demonko, everybody all in one, just drop in unison, and that will be an easy tower. They're just going to rush straight for the inhibitor, the Nexus turret.
Oh, Edward goes down to the turret, but this is a very easy game for Gambit right now. And that last fight, that chain of corruption caught every single member of the red, and you saw why it punished them.
Absolutely. So, Gambit Gaming, they take game one this time around. Are we going to see any more fountain dives? I don't think we will. I think they want to close this one out a little bit more successfully. It's a 27-minute game, ladies and gentlemen. Gambit Gaming, they take game one here at the Intel Extreme Masters in Cologne.
And they've shown a lot of what the team they used to be before Edward, left over for Curse in North America. I mean, you gave him a finger. The Red just gave him a little tip of their pinky. And from that, they just completely snowballed on them very, very hard. They finished off 21-12 here, 48